This has been a long time coming, but I want to take you guys through a nice little walkthrough of my shipping container gym here. If you're new here, you're new to my channel or my page, my name is JC Bird. I'm a strength and conditioning coach. I've been working with athletes in a shipping container gym that is on my parents' farm for about 5 years now. During the whole 2020 COVID fiasco that occurred and people couldn't go to gyms anymore, I really was going nowhere with my life. I had a strength and conditioning certification I wasn't doing anything with. I was training at a new gym. It was the first time I'd ever been to a powerlifting gym. It was Big Mountain Barbell. And I really enjoyed the high access to equipment and everything that you had at your disposal to just get stronger, and things I'd seen people use on Instagram in the past that I just never used before because I always worked out at a basic commercial gym like Vasa. When COVID happened, obviously most of us had nowhere to train. My gym had closed down. I turned to just training inside my mom's basement every day. At the time, the only really job I was doing was hanging rain gutter for my old man's business, and I just wanted to train athletes. I didn't really know how to start, and I started to try to grow my brand on social media. Since I started doing that, I still needed a place to train. I started to get a couple baseball players, one that I used to work with in high school, and a friend of a friend's little brother who started coming and training with me in my mom's basement. My mom gets a good idea, and she says, "Have you ever looked into getting a shipping container?" And at the time, they were a little more niche than they are now. I said, to hell with it. We started looking around. By the grace of God, some miracle, I don't know how, but we found a shipping container on KSL for $1,000. It had a ton of fire damage. The lady said, best offer, get it out of here ASAP. She gave us the contact of a guy who was able to transport it here from North Salt Lake for $200. Hell, at the time for $1,200, it gave me something. And I'll probably have to link some pictures and videos of the way this area set up looked beforehand. We were just out here on my parents' land. We got weeds everywhere. We've had goats and horses kind of roaming around this area for most of my life, but we finally blocked it off. I started laying carpet down around the outsides of the gym just so we could have a little spot to do plyometrics and jumping and all sorts of stuff like that outside. I had to pressure wash the hell out of this thing in order to just get it to a point where we could paint it. Luckily enough, I've always been a guy that just, I don't come from a wealthy background. I want to bootstrap everything. I had a cousin who was able to paint this whole thing white for free. I shot a bull elk with him that fall, and his payment was elk meat, that's better than money in some places, you know what I mean? We were able to get that arrangement going. I got my first rack in here, and then eventually over time, I just purchased more and more equipment and was able to grow the place. I'm gonna start the tour right here in the middle of the gym and highlight probably the most important pieces of equipment I have here. This is my band wall. I got all sorts of heavy bands, medium strength bands. I have a ton of these red bands from Elite FTS, micro mini bands, and then monster green bands. I absolutely love using bands in my training, and probably one of the coolest things about this gym that I don't know if a lot of people know, we got these little rings up here about every, I don't know, like 5 feet or so. Got a ton of them. I don't know if you can see that all too well. We have them on the floor as well. It makes a huge difference because I love using accommodating resistance, so bands and even chains in my weight training, and I love using it with my athletes because it very clearly makes you more explosive, and it teaches kids and adults how to fire their muscles faster, for lack of a better term. It's one of the most effective ways to get stronger and become more athletic, and personally I think it does a tremendous job at building really, really strong, resilient joints. We have carabiners set up on pretty much every corner up in the walls, and we use these areas to do so many things for single joint work especially. This was my first rack. I got it on KSL. Some goofy dude that runs a little shop out here, and it was kind of a pain in the ass to deal with, but gave us a good deal on that rack. Over time, I was able to get lucky. I had a friend who needed to sell a Rogue R3 rack, which I mostly like to use this area for bench pressing, but every now and then we'll do Anderson squats, kind of various other squats if I want, but I love this rack. There's just so many ways you can vary the pin placements and do ISO pulls and all that fun stuff. I'm kind of a little chaotic around here. I'm just bouncing around. Bear with me. Right here, it's a Nordic hamstring curl bench, I guess you want to call it. It's from Freak Athlete Essentials. It was like 250 bucks. It took about a month to get to me, but ever since then, this is a staple, because if you work with athletes, Nordic hamstring curls are goated. If y'all can't see, I got a hammock strap that I think is rated for like 1,000 pounds. I loop a band right here, so when my guys, they can throw it over their shoulders and have a little extra help when they're trying to lower down to whatever size box or mats I'm having them work to. AC unit was installed this summer. Not the strongest in the world. For those of you that are into shipping containers and might know more than I do, if you have an idea to help me insulate this thing a little better when the weather gets hot in the summer, so I can maybe squeeze a little more cool air out of this AC, let me know, because these are things I'm not super versed on, so it would really help me. I got a Titan Fitness reverse hyperextension machine. Every gym in America needs to have a reverse hyperextension machine in it, and there's no good reason why there isn't, especially when you consider how many people in this country and in the world in general, adults, that suffer from lower back pain or lower back issues. I think everyone needs to be doing these. It is a tremendous eccentric load that can really help, one, directly strengthen your lower back, but if you're doing other versions of exercises, like I do leg extensions, rows, back extensions, pulses, all sorts of stuff like that, they make a huge difference. They really help, and it's a very novel stimulus. I have an assortment of equipment back here. I did install this cable pulley rack system, I think 2-3 years ago now. This is just a cheap, I think it's a Titan Fitness one. Came off of Amazon, it's like 250 bucks. I mostly use this machine for either a high to low lat pull down or a seated row variation. There's a little bit of friction here, so it's just a little bit extra resistance that you get. I feel like I gotta mention this, ab wheel. If you guys don't have an ab wheel, get an ab wheel. It is the most tremendous ab exercise known to man. Everybody ought to be mixing it. If you want to get really strong, durable abs, use an ab wheel. Our 14-inch Kamer, that's from Titan Fitness as well. In case you can't tell, there's a theme here. I got a Texas Power Bar for our deadlift bar, cheap bar off of an Amazon auction site, I believe. And then I got a Bow bar. Can't remember the exact name of the brand, but it's from Titan Fitness as well. If you're bootstrapping things, that's a great option. That and the Kamer bar, it'll get the job done. I love those bars. I'm gonna take you guys outside real quick, and I'm gonna show you just the turf, the layout around it. It's nothing special, but I got some equipment and stuff sitting out here, so I'll just give you the quick rundown. Got a Westside barbell, a raw sled. This is my adjustable bench, dip stand. This thing is called a war wagon, so basically you can do a lot of shrugs, scapular work. You can load it up and walk it around. We have another adjustable bench. I have another sled, squat leg roller, homemade boxed. It's a little too big, but they get the job done. I like them. Someone left the kettlebell out. Strap bar, inversion table, other various pieces of equipment. I have another rack, and I forgot a couple lassos. Punching bag, don't really use that. You can see the horses. I eventually plan on getting hopefully another shipping container and or building a awning off of that side yard, just so I can create a little more space on the outside. This shipping container, it really showed me that I can really make a lot out of nothing, and I hope that inspires you guys to follow your dreams and be willing to do whatever you have to do things the way you want to do them and to live life on your terms. I would rather do that 10 times out of 10 than go into a career or working for people that I do not like in a career that I don't enjoy. I'm so thankful for every one of you guys that subscribe and watch this video. If you have ideas and you want to help me grow my channel and there's more in here that you'd like to see, send me your ideas, shoot me some comments, or you can message me on Instagram. I'm pretty responsive over there. And let me know what you guys want from me and what else you guys want to learn about the gym and how I started it. So this is my first video vlog. So thanks for anybody that tuned in, and I'll see you guys in the next one.